Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another art lesson. Today, we are going to be starting a new project, and since we are getting closer to the end of October, I thought it would be fun if we did a Halloween project. So, what we're going to do is we are going to be creating a fall witch project. Now, you're not going to see the entire witch, you're only going to see the bottom of her dress and her legs and boots. Okay, so I'm going to start at the top of my page and I'm using pencil first. So I'm going to draw a straight line down on both sides. And I'm leaving a little bit of space. This is going to be her dress. Now we want the dress to look kind of like tattered and torn. So I'm just going to connect it with like a zigzag line. And some pieces are going to come down a little bit further than others. Okay, so here we have her dress. Next, we're going to add her legs. The dress should only come about, I would say, like halfway. Okay, about halfway. So now I'm going to go in and add the legs. So I'm going to add 2 lines that come down. Make sure the legs are nice and thick. You don't want them to be super itty bitty, skinny, teeny tiny. She's got to be able to stand up. Okay, now I'm not going to draw the legs all the way to the bottom because I want to draw the boots. And she's going to have on some really tall, like high top witch boots. So I'm going to draw 2 lines that go across, okay? And you can see that I went over the edge just a little bit. And that's because I want her legs to look like she's actually standing inside the boot. So I'm just going to add a little curved line that's going to connect behind the leg, okay? And then straight line down, straight line down. So that's going to be the back of her shoe. And witches have really tall, pointy boots. So this is probably the trickiest part of this project. You're going to draw a line that comes down and curves up and then goes down to the bottom. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, so now her boots are pointed up. If you want, you can get kind of fancy and add like a little triangle so then it looks like she has a high heel. Okay, so then we're also going to add 2 X's for the shoelaces. Now, if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause the video. Okay, you can always pause it, erase things, take your time, do a nice, neat job, and then you can continue on with the video. Next, I'm going to add some stripes to her tights. So I'm going to turn my paper sideways, and I'm just going to add a straight line across her legs so it looks like her tights have a pattern. Now, it's going to look a little trickier once you get towards the dress because you have to pick up your pencil so that that line goes behind the dress. Keep going. Okay, there we go. So now she has patterned tights. Next, we're going to add some details to her dress. Since it's kind of like a worn and tattered, like old dress, we are going to add some patches. So I'm going to add like a little square. Then I can add some little patch lines to it. Looks like it's sewn in. Maybe I want to add like a long skinny rectangle one over here on this side. Maybe you want like some holes in it. Then you could color that in if you wanted. Okay. There we go. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a line that goes behind my witch. So now it's going to look like she's standing on the ground. Right now it looks like she's kind of just floating. So I'm going to add a line behind the legs, just like that, okay? So now you can see there's a sky back here and there's grass or the ground down here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give our witch a pet spider. So just pick a side on which side you would like your spider to be. I'm going to have mine over here. So I'm just going to draw a curvy line that comes down, and then I'm going to add a circle, and then like a little head, and then I can go in and add my spider. And if your legs need to go off the edge of the paper, that's fine. You want to add 2 little eyeballs, go for it. So now you can see my spider hanging down. The next thing I'm going to add is I'm going to add like some candy pieces, like candy corn and like some hard candy down here on the ground. So I've got a piece of candy corn there, and I really don't have a ton of room. So I'm going to add maybe a piece over here that's going to go behind the leg. There we go. That's plenty. Okay. I'm going to add one more patch to her dress because I've got a lot of empty space up here. And I'm going to do a patch inside of a patch. How about that? Getting kind of fancy here. Okay. So once you have this done, then you are going to get out a Sharpie or a black marker, whatever you have, and you are going to just very carefully trace everything. There we go. Stay on top of your pencil lines. So that you don't have to go in and erase. So it's going to look just like a coloring book. All right, Sharpie's starting to run out here. I'm going to get a different one. There we go. So I'm just going to continue tracing. You can be working on your own. So the video might be a little quiet right now, but that's okay. Go ahead and trace all of yours. I'm almost done. Getting there. Okay, I have everything traced. So now what I'm going to do is go in with my eraser and find any pencil marks that are showing through and just go in and erase them because you don't want them poking through when you go to color. It's a little trick there for you. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, this is a 2-week project. So we're going to work on it today and next week. This is probably a good place to stop if you want to take a break. If you want to keep going and finish out next week's, then we're going to start coloring. So if you want to stop and take a break, this is where you can pause the video and then you can go work on something else and then come back to the next part next week. Or if you want to continue, you're going to get out your crayons or whatever you have available to you, and you can go ahead and start coloring. So I'm just going to start by coloring in the patches up here. And then I need to pick a color for her dress. Her dress can be any color you would like. I think I want her dress to be purple. It can be any color you would like. Now, I'm not going to color the whole thing because I want you guys to have time to do yours. Okay, so let's just pretend like I colored in the whole dress. Now I need to work on the tights. So I'm going to pick out 2 colors for the tights. And I'm going to do a pattern. I'm just going to do an AB pattern. So blue, pink, blue, pink, blue, pink. All the way up. Okay, and I'm going to color in my spider. And I'm just going to use black, and I'm just going to press lightly. There we go. And I'm going to color in the boots. So I'm going to use maybe like a gray color. But again, you can use whatever color you would like. And I'm just pressing lightly, not pressing down super hard. And the candy corn, so I'm going to need some yellow and some orange. Color in my candy corn pieces. There we go. Okay, now for the ground and the background, I'm just going to get out my colored pencils. If you don't have colored pencils, that's okay. Just use what you have. It's totally up to you, your choice. So I'm just going to use my green. I'm just going to start coloring in the grass. Like I said, you can use whatever you have. And it doesn't have to be grass. Maybe it's just like a different type of flooring. It's up to you. And maybe I want to blend some like darker green on top. Make it look a little bit more interesting. There we go. And then I'm going to do our sky. So maybe I'm going to do kind of like a light bluish color. And I'm just coloring between the dress and the legs, making sure that it goes all the way to the top of the page. There we go. Alrighty. So once you have everything colored in, then I want you to take a picture of it. And this is going to be your assignment for weeks 10 and 11. Weeks 10 and 11, okay? So once you're done, take a picture of it and submit it into Google Classroom so I can get it graded. You only need to take one photo, just the finished piece of artwork. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.